All right. Okay, I'm out running again. You can tell I'm out of breath. 2-on-1s today just because I think I'd go further. Still testing the intervals. I'm wearing my Saucony Peregrine Ice. Got the Gore-Tex on and my yaktrax. You might actually be able to hear the yaktrax, which is kind of cool. I haven't talked a lot about them. I like the Saucony Peregrine Ice. I have worn the track shoes, or the trail shoes, which are fine. I find them a little too narrow. These aren't bad. A little more room, and they're Gore-Tex. I'll talk about Gore-Tex while I tie my shoes. Gore-Tex. We used to tell customers Gore-Tex was a solid material and didn't breathe. That was a lie. Gore-Tex actually does breathe. It's got tiny, tiny holes in it. And the Gore-Tex is to keep you two things: warm and dry. So yeah, a little bit more warmth. The dry part is actually interesting science. It's I should start running again. Dry because, why is it dry? Oh, because there's tiny holes. There's tiny holes in the Gore-Tex. Really tiny holes. They're tiny enough to let sweat out, or to keep water out. The holes are small enough that the molecules, I guess, of water, rainwater, or in this case, ice water, get into the shoe. And there's tight, but there's still holes in there to let your feet breathe. So that's the whole thing. I love them. Like them, don't love them. That's a different story. But they feel good, and they do what they're supposed to do. I don't find the grip on them that great. I still have to wear my yaktrax. There's ice. Anyhow, talk in a minute. Okay, so double knot of the shoes. And yeah, I'm wearing yaktrax as well. I like the yaktrax. I've tried every form of traction aids you can imagine. These ones work, which is really interesting. We used to steer customers away from these things. I've tried, they look like vodka galoshes with pins on the bottom. They never stayed on. I've done screws. I sometimes worry about that. I use screws, I remember, on a Nike shoe, and I popped a hole in the air because cushioning in Nike is air, right? That's why they're called air. And once I took the screw out, every time I took a step, I got a whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. So I'm steered away from that. A lot of people still do, and that's fine. As long as you know what you're doing, put the screws in the right spot. But yaktrax stay on. I love that part about them. I'll get back to that. I gotta run. So, walk break. I think I'm doing like 3-in-1s now, so it's getting better. Anyhow, so back to the yaktrax. Funny thing about the galoshes thing, I finally learned to have 2 pairs of shoes, one with this traction aids on them all the time, all through the winter, and one without, so I'm not changing all the time. Because some days the traction's not bad. But I remember one run, I felt one foot slipping, and I looked down, I lost one of them. And I'm not gonna go back. I looked back, I couldn't see it. Oh, I gotta go. All right, so I'm in the shed here. Look for a while. I just had to stop and stop for this while, like nature. And also I got something in my heel. That said the socket was giving me trouble, so I take off the shoes. First today I double knot. I gotta take off the shoes. Anyhow, so we'll talk yaktrax. Again, I mentioned the story. Lost one of my group the black ones, and couldn't find one of them, and then I ran through a bit further. I find another one that somebody else lost. So yay! But I didn't like those. yaktrax, I love these things. You'll notice the bottoms. There, you'll see that. You can see there's pins and there's springs. What will happen eventually is once spring comes up and the snow melts and there's less and less snow and ice and more and more concrete, the springs will snap, break, and the pins will start to break off too again. And which is fine, because at the end of the season you don't need these anymore. So basically they're good for one season. I used to tell customers they're good for ice, deep snow and deep ice, and lots of ice. I'm gonna say I love the way they feel. They feel like, if you ever run any track shoes with pins on them, and they feel, maybe it makes you feel faster. But I can hear the pins bite, you can feel them bite, And yeah, they were full. Anyhow, that's it for now. I'll come up with something else to talk about the next walk break. Okay, my camera's doing some weird stuff right now. Anyhow, really hard run tonight. I'm going a bit further, not faster. I just can't keep up my breath. Again, I'm building up again, so whatever. I'm not going to run. But I overdressed. You might be able to see this. I'm wearing my handy dandy running room jacket, which I love. Never used to wear them, but now older, maybe I like them. And I do know how to blow snot rockets. Not very well. Anyway, I gotta run again. Oh, 2 minutes is flying by. Anyhow, jacket's warm. Tomorrow I could have got done with maybe 2 layers, but 2 light layers in a jacket, whatever. I just sweat more. I didn't wear my toque. Yeah, and gloves. I think I needed a toque. My ears would be cold right now. One thing I learned this week, I'm ready for 2 races on the same day. The Vancouver Sun Run 10K on April 19th, and the St. Albert Road Race on April 19th here in St. Albert. I'm screwed, I'm going to Vancouver. But lesson there, have a calendar, write what you register for on that calendar. There's already another race there, don't register again. And I'll talk when I finish. Okay, I don't know why my camera's just gotten dark, but that's the yaktrax. One thing about yaktrax is once the weather starts changing and there's more concrete and asphalt than there's ice, these things will actually break off. I don't know if we got one broken on here yet or not. They look like they're about to. Yeah, that one's gone. This one I think right here is broken off a piece. So a little less traction, and you'll see the pins are starting to bend. One broke off completely. It's just because you're running concrete asphalt. They're not, they're for ice. I will say they're amazing. I love how strongly, how easily they put on. A little bit of work, if you got a little bit of strength, you can do it. But I love how they feel. And yeah, I would recommend them. Anyway, good run. But I did feel my hips a little bit during the run, and I'm going to say it's just because of the yaktrax. Once I get back to my regular shoes, it'll be fine. But not quite 5K. I wanted a bit further today. I wanted 6. But done outside. I'll maybe do some foam rolling and maybe some lower back and core things later. I don't think I'll do yoga today. I did yoga yesterday, and I'll do it tomorrow. Will I ride the bike today? No, that's enough. Anyhow, we'll talk next run.